Good morning, guys. Just gonna mute my computer so that I don't, oh, here we go. Give everybody a minute to jump on. I have so much to share with you. Again, my table's a mess, but that's okay. So last week, Stampin' Up! At the end of the week announced that they're doing a second set of celebration offerings, and that comes out on February 15th. Demonstrators can pre-order now, or if you're not a demonstrator and you want to pre-order, you can sign up for the starter kit, and you can actually get these items in your starter kit. Isn't that cool? So I had one person join me last month, Deb Carleen, and she ended up getting the cool new demonstrator bag and it was an extra $30. I'm just gonna share this video over to my creative page so I'm sure that everybody gets to see it. I will be back in 1 second. Let's see, share in a group. I have my computer extra far from me this morning. Usually it's right here, but I got so much stuff on the table. I thought it would be good to, there we go. Okay, so that's all set. So this new celebration brochure, and I think it's backwards when I show you this way, so I'll show you the other way in just a second. It comes with 2 new beautiful stamp sets, one of which has a designer paper associated with it that I'm very excited about. I'm just looking to see if I have any comments at all. I might just be here by myself. I like talking to myself, I suppose. Let me see. All right. So we're good. So this we have 2 new stamp sets. This is one. Good morning, Robin. Absolutely beautiful to work with, and this is the other one. And I know that the text is backwards, but we're gonna flip the camera in just a minute, and I can show you. So I had a team meeting all planned for my team this week, and then I decided to completely change it because we have all these new products coming and I wanted to be able to share with my team. So both in person and to go, every month I have a team meeting, and if you live far away, I can ship you a package. We have a card swap here in Drake-It, and I have a package for me sitting in my kitchen waiting for me to swap out some cards for one of my team members, Heather from California. So I'm very excited about that. Last week, I randomly shared something I do every year for my daughter's school. It's just an easel card. We do them typically in Stamp Club in January because I always want to do some sort of calendar. Now, in the past, I've done everything from a 4x6 a frame and decorated it, but this is an easy way to make an easel, so I thought this morning we would do that. And I want to show you my little trick. Because I decorated this so that the calendar was on top, it made it top heavy. Oh, we're all done with January, aren't we? That's crazy. Time goes by so fast now that my daughter's getting older. So we'll get rid of January. We'll put February on there. And then how to make it stand up is pretty simple, but it's a fun little technique. In addition, I have my card class for this week to share with you. So, and I think maybe we'll do some kamikaze stamping. If you haven't joined me for kamikaze stamping, that's when I have you help me make some decisions about making a card. Today, I want to focus on this Hey Love stamp set. If you're in a committed relationship, like me, Valentine's Day is all about the fact that my husband does the dishes. I think it's hot. He's awesome. And so we don't necessarily do the lovey-dovey romantic, and we do. He buys me flowers and everything, and he's a sweet guy. But this is more our speed. I think it's hot when he does the dishes or when he helps out and he does all the laundry. He's awesome. Oh, and he bought me this shirt. Ready? Go Pats. Whoop, whoop. Shout out to the Pats and Tom Brady for outstanding teamwork. It's interesting to be the underdog after all these years, but that's how it works when you get older. People underestimate you, and turns out he did just fine. There's a big rolling parade here in Boston today, so I'm excited for the Pats. All right, so I think we talked about the new celebration offerings and the fact that you can get them when you're a demonstrator only until February 15th. And then as a customer, the stamp sets will be available, or actually one of the stamp sets is available for a $50 order. The other one, the one that I'm going to focus on for my team meeting, comes with the designer paper and the stamp set for free with a $100 order. There's also a very, very awesome new embossing folder. Ready? And in case you're wondering, these came out Friday, and I already have them because I overnighted the package. Is that not the coolest embossing folder ever? I can see myself keeping this one after celebration is over. Okay. So I hope that I am seeing your comments because I only have Robin's comment cemented here. But I'm going to flip the camera over and figure we'll get started this morning. Okay. Don't get dizzy. Ready? Oh, that's my finger. Sorry. One more second. There we go. And then everything becomes clear. Okay, I want to start with this cute Casing Tuesday card that I made. Someone last week was asking me about how to use blends markers. It was my customer Doris. So Doris, this part is for you. This is the Casing Tuesday Sketch Challenge, and I play along every week. I'm one of the design team members now. My friend Brenda started the group. And basically, they take a catalog card. This one was, I think, page 14 in the current catalog. Very, very simple card. And they make a sketch case out of it. So, I know that it's in black and white, but this is what I printed on my table. So what I did was I took this sketch and I flipped it so that this thing was going the other way so that my otter would fit. Isn't he cute? So the question was about blends markers and how they work. So I thought that we might bring some of the elements in from this card and talk about them. I'm going to grab the first adhesive I saw. So I know that we don't have Fast Fuse anymore, but I am using mine up. And it's my favorite adhesive. So I probably have 200 of them in my bedroom, in case you were wondering. What do you keep in your bedroom? I keep Fast Fuse in there. So this is going to go all the way in the middle. This I cut, oh, that's not all the way in. This I cut 4.5 by 1 3/4 and punched. And this one I cut 1.5. It's again 4 1/4 by 1.5. And I'm just making these into banners for my little otter guy. I'm also going to preview one of our brand new stamps. Now, that particular stamp, there's going to be a celebration offering that comes February 15th. And then there's going to be a coordinating products line. And that's going to show up March 1st. So we have a couple of exciting new things coming. I'm going to score this at 4 1/4 to make my card base. It's kind of tricky to do this around the I have the camera on a stand and I'm looking around to. Okay, so there's my score mark. And then I'm gonna also cut it at 4 1/4 so that we can get the so this is a 4 1/4 inch square card. It didn't like score very good this morning. I wonder what I did. I'm gonna get a better score on this piece. I don't like how it came out. You shouldn't ever need another score blade. They don't typically, and you want a score blade sort of dull, but I didn't even touch the paper. I must be got my wimpy hands on. Okay, so this is a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, actually 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, and now I'm just gonna fold it in half. Easy enough. We'll get rid of that one because the edge is crunchy. People always ask me how I fold my cardstock, and I know it sounds funny, but there's a side that comes out of the scoreboard with a divot, and there's a side that stands up. I always fold towards the hump, capture the mountain, so that if anything was going to stick up, it wouldn't have all this extra fluff stuff that sticks up. That gets captured inside the card. Instead, when I fold it, I have a nice even line here. And then we'll bring in our otter. He's so darn cute. And now I get to try and find my ink pad underneath the mess I made. Here it is. Okay, so again, people keep telling me that they struggle with these. Lift straight up for the compact. Get it all over your finger like I did. That could be part of the process. Whoop. Perfect. Just what I expected. Okay, I'm going to have a seat here. So we're going to ink Mr. Otter. Now, what's really cool about photopolymer is that, blends markers, is that it's not going to affect my water-based ink. So I'm going to give this a little stamp too. And again, these products that aren't available yet, if you're a demonstrator, you can order them, or if you're not a demonstrator, you can sign up to be a demonstrator and order them that way. Well, I'm going to punch this out so that it's at the bottom of this shape. It's so pretty. And I want to make my shape a little bit smaller here. So I'm going to attach one side to my paper that I just did, like that. And then I'm going to go in and punch again to make the shape a little bit smaller. And that's going to actually cut off the adhesive that's at the top too, so I don't have to mess with this again. So that's my sentiment. This is the good one. This is my scrap, and I'm going to punch out another shape out of this. This is the Pretty Label punch. Good morning, Pat. Good to see you on here. So we took this shape and we changed it. Oh no, I lied. We took this shape and we changed it into a smaller shape to suit the sentiment. And it's adorable. It's perfect for, looks like an otter's tail, doesn't it? Okay, so then this was 3x4 panel, but I cut 1/8 of an inch off the sides so that I could include a soft suede layer underneath, and we'll just attach that to the card. And this is the base of the card. I think I want it to open this way. So there we go. Okay, so to color my otter, I have the Lovely Lipstick and Crumb Cake blends markers. I've got no words this morning. And we have the bronze marker. And all I'm going to do is, I like to start with the lighter color and fill in. So this little heart right here, I'm going to start with the lightest color. And while it's wet, I'm going to go over it with the dark, lovely lipstick. You kind of want to stay a little bit inside the lines because it can bleed. And then you can blend it out. So in a second, when this dries, I'm just gonna whoop. It gives this really cool dark to light effect, and it does go through on the back. So I really should be coloring with something underneath so that I don't have stuff on my table. It is a permanent kind of marker though, so if you're coloring on a white table, that could be an issue. It's not so much a big problem on my black table. So this one, I'm going to fill this guy in. What's nice about the blends markers is you don't see the streaks because I'm obviously coloring in circles. It dries with a nice soft finish. Now I'm going to take my light crumb cake and I'm going to fill this guy in completely. And I'm going to show you some blending techniques. These markers are intended for really beginners. The alcohol marker market, it is inundated with all kinds of cool tools that you can use. But if you've never used an alcohol marker, these are great because they're not refillable, they're disposable. So when they run out, you pitch them, and they're only $4.50 a marker. In alcohol marker land, they're very inexpensive, but they are geared towards a beginner. So now I'm going to take my slightly darker marker. Actually, I want a darker, so I'm going to go to bronze. I'm going to take the bronze marker and make like a line. And while that's wet, now this is a line that will show some color. While that's wet, you blend it out. And you can do the same thing in the sections where the artist made marks. So I'm going to do the bottom left-hand side, and then wherever the artist made a mark, I'm going to make a mark. This will make it super simple and easy to blend out and have it look like the artist did it. Now that one, the line isn't blending for me, so I'm going to switch sides and use my little tip. It has more gusto than the brush side. And then I think I'm going to leave him because I like this dark to light look. It's got this, so see the detail there? So pretty. So I think that he could use a little bit of shadow. So I'm just going to grab another marker. I brought in my my smoky slate. I have two colors of smoky slate. This is the light one. And because the shadow was on this side, I'm going to add a tiny bit of the gray around his tail. So this is like the shadow under him where he sits. And that's it. So then it's super simple to stick together. I made these banners the same length, so they'll marry up pretty easy, and there'll just be a nice little border on him. But if you look, I have a bit of a border at the top, so no big deal. We'll just give it a trim. Now, also, I ran out of this ribbon last night, so I have to open a new roll. That's kind of a pain sometimes when you're opening new rolls. We get 10 yards of ribbon on most of our rolls. So I know they look expensive in the book, but if you consider how much ribbon you get at a big box store, you might get a yard if you're lucky. There's 10 yards of ribbon on this, so it takes a while to use them, but I'm up for the challenge. I am not seeing any comments, so hopefully everything's okay. Okay, so to get this next element down, I'm going to make this a little bit wider. Usually I do this with a thin ribbon, but yesterday I was feeling the silver. I'm going to start with this so it comes off the page, and then I'm going to go around the corner like I'm on the street. I don't want to overlap too much, but I want my loops to be really big so that it will show up underneath this. So I'm going to make my ribbon bigger than I normally would. And just stick it right down, and then you can trim off. So there's like no waste to your ribbon on this technique. And give it a little adhesive. Isn't he cute? Oh my gosh. And this I would pop up on dimensionals. I'm gonna grab some. So I will say, thanks, Jerry. Nice to see you this morning. Okay. So darn cute. And when you're, I know that I use a lot of dimensionals, but there's nothing worse than finding a card that you made in the drawer like a couple of years from now and finding that one side is saggy or whatever. So I always use a lot, but I only need to peel off a couple. So it's all about the right height. It doesn't matter if it's sticky all the way around. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. Okay, so that's my case for my Casing Tuesday card. I want to move on here to another sketch challenge. Now, on my team page, every month we have 2 challenges. One is a color challenge, and one is a sketch challenge. And this one looked particularly challenging to me. So I thought, what better to make it into a live video, right? And I was thinking, since my hubs isn't home, that we could make a card for him using Gorilla Pants. So I'm going to pop this out of my die cut piece. That Stampin' Up! Die cuts their images for us. And normally I would trim just the red piece if I had customers touching it, because sometimes, I don't know, if you push too hard you get that halo. So I cut just the red part and not the underpad. But I'm going to leave it just like that because I feel like being a rebel. And we'll grab a block and load it up like that. So I was making cards earlier this week, and I pre-cut some of these, and it sort of looks close, right? So I was thinking we could make our gorilla guy in this. Oh, it's awfully big though. Oh, well. We'll have to look and see what else is in the set. We're gonna have him up high because on the sketch it looks like there's a spot here for sentiment. So we're gonna go back to the blends markers. And oops, is that the light? Oh, good. Whew. It looked so dark for a second. I thought it was the dark marker. It's the light one. So I am filling in this cute little heart. When my husband and I first started dating, he had like something that looked like this in his bedroom, like an ape. Maybe from another girl, whatever. He's got the original now. We're good. All right, so there's my heart. Now, what color should we make him? I'm not seeing your comments. I want to go back and see you. Ah, there you go. Now I can see you. Okay, good. So cool. I think he should have light hands. Oh my gosh, he's so darn cute. Maybe we'll make his, well, I want to build into that. I'm always afraid to add too much color. It's kind of like giving a haircut. Once you've cut too much hair, you're all done. So if I start with a lighter color and build the color up, I'm much less likely to make a mess. Oh yeah, so this is the light and the light and dark crumb cake. So I put the I have the bronze here still, which was darker again. But once I get that line in there with that, I want to blend out that color. And see how the line starts to disappear? Now the trick to this is to work in small sections, because once you let the dark ink dry, it's much harder to blend out that line. So here's my line, and see how kind of it looks like I wrecked it a little bit, but I didn't, because as long as I go in while it's wet, I've got that. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. My husband's gonna flip. That's so fun. Now, I have to be honest here. I don't usually make him a Valentine's Day card. I know that's gonna sound crazy. We are like so easygoing here. In fact, every year I have a singles awareness night class on Valentine's night, and this month I'm going to replicate the projects from my team meeting for singles awareness night. Here, I want to show you those real quick. So this is that first project. These are using all brand new stamp sets that won't be released until February 15th, but you can order them on a starter kit, or if you're a demonstrator, you can order them. So these are for demonstrators only until February 15th. If you are interested in joining my team, you can go to CelineKempton.com, and there's a Join My Team tab right at the top, and then that big gray button to go sign up. So super simple. I love the new embossing folder. So as a demonstrator, you can get them. As a customer, you can get them on a starter kit right now, including that punch. That punch is brand new, and I forget the name of it already. But I did put it in the description on my blog of this card this morning for CelineKempton.com. So it's all there, so you can grab it if you need to. Or you can just send me a text when we get off. Oops. I always think that I do that. Oh, it is the dark one. He has a dark pit. Whoops. That's so funny. I should not color and do other stuff at the same time. Just a rule. Too funny. All right, so we're going to get him all finished. Oh my goodness. You think he should have a dark belly like the otter? Let me see. Oh my God, I love him. How cool. So notice I'm going in small sections. I don't want to do too much of it and have the line dry before I have a chance to blend it out. So Doris, that's for you, my friend. And then, yeah, I think I want to make his belly dark. I usually have Laura here helping me make decisions. She jumps online with us and lives far. I think she lives in Ohio. But she's always here making decisions for me when we're stamping. I love the kamikaze stamping options in the morning. Ah, I cannot stand the cuteness. Okay, ready? Oh my gosh, he makes me so happy. Just like laundry and dishes, can I say? I'm easy to please. Okay, so I'm going to push these out of the way for a second. And then I want to bring in some designer paper, and maybe you guys can help me. This is awful floral looking from my ape. Let's see if we can find a design. Yeah, that's still floral. I do love these papers, I have to say. They're absolutely gorgeous. But we should find a design that's not so floral. Let's see. You know, it's funny. I cut this up yesterday. I think I'm going to stick with the hearts. Well, it's so hard. Because I want something for this, this layer too. I want something with a little pattern, I think. Oh, I know it's flowers, and I just said I didn't want flowers, and here I am choosing flowers. I love this paper. It's so delicate and pretty. I threw my my cutter on the floor. Okay, so this is 4 by 1/2. So let's go. I'm actually going to go 4 1/4, and I'll make the decision if I want to cut it down later. So 4 1/4 by 1/2 inch. So the other thing that I like on our team page, we do these sketch challenges, but we always have something, a sketch that has a set of measurements. So for the new stamper, if you join our group, because we have a lot of happy shoppers, if you join our group, you know that our sketch challenges are always going to be like somewhatly simple. Okay, I kind of like this one. I'm going to grab my Big Shot, and I have another tip for you guys. So you see the designer paper here? I want to cut like a bakery window style. See? So I cut a whole bunch of these the other day when I was making this card, and I only tacked the top so that I could fit the calendar underneath. And to do this and get it straight is kind of a pain because my paper kept moving. So I just put a little bit of glue dot on my cutting pad, and then eyeballed where to put the paper. So my my glue dots won't move. Ah, here we go. And when you're doing a whole bunch of them, it's much easier to see where to put it. Look at how cruddy my cutting pads are. Okay. Got to be careful with this too, not to get too close to the edge when you're cutting. But so when I go to take this off, I will have to Goo Gone my cutting pad for where I put the glue dots, but it is so much easier because it doesn't slip around on me. So when I'm done with this die, this one comes out of the All My Love Suite. So cool. Alrighty. Now I think because I changed colors, I need to go get some of this pink. I would not call this Flirty Flamingo. Like, it is so pretty. I don't think of flamingos on the lawn, you know what I mean? Oh, I just love it. And I'm only making one of these. This one's going to be for the hubs. So I'm going to cut my paper at 4 1/4. And this second tip is for Cheryl, who asked me how in the world I did that easel fold, which is this one. So we're going to make an easel card for the hubs. So I'm going to score this at 5 1/2. And I'm going to make sure that I don't cut it. Here we go. And then again at 2 3/4. Oh, I guess I moved it the wrong way. So basically I just cut the same fold in half. Okay, so this is a normal card front, right? When you score it at 5.5, 2 3/4 means it'll just stand up like this. So that's easy enough. And then we need something to stick the front of our card on, so I'm going to make a card front. So I already cut it 4 1/4, and I'm going to go 5.5 now. And then let's take a look at our sketch again. So we need another layer in here. And I don't like too many layers, like it hurts my face. So I'm gonna go back and cut just a white piece of paper, I think, for this. It says 3.5 by 3 1/4. But I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna make it 4 3/4. By 3.5. And I think maybe we should emboss this layer to give it some foo-foo with that. It's really funny when you can put an ape and flowers on the same card, don't you think? So I gotta grab another cutting pad because I have that one in use. And my new folder. Oh, I don't need a second cutting pad because this new folder that's going to come out February 15th, and it's free with a $50 order. This one is so dimensional that you only need one cutting pad. It's one of those thick ones. So I'm going to change up my sandwich and pull it down to the embossing layer. And because it's a thick folder, I only need one cutting pad. Woo. I love the new line on the folder. It makes it so easy to line up. I am looking right through the folder so I can see the line, closing it, and putting my cutting pad on top. I got a small disaster on my table going here. It's so funny. I hope you're seeing the dimension in this. It is so cool. It is so, like, pop your face off when it comes out of the Big Shot. Oh my gosh. Happiness. Okay. So here's my sketch. And here's that piece. And I know it says 3.5 by 3 1/4, but I'm just going to put it on here because this is what I see. And it's fine. And then this bakery window thing, right? I know that this piece went on top, but oh, it makes it so long. Ooh. I don't know what to do with them now. I think I'll leave the bakery window on top. I was gonna put the bakery window on top instead of underneath, but I stamped him too high to do that. So I will just go this way. Oh my gosh, is this not the cutest? So if you wanted to stick something under there, you absolutely could. But I'm gonna go on top like the sketch. Look at me staying true to the sketch. That never happens. Okay, so white on white. You know, I think that's a little too white. So maybe we need another piece of this red paper. I do like layers. Here, we can take this scrap and cut it down. So first, I still have adhesive on this thing, so let's measure it. This came right off. It's one of those stitch rectangle framelits, so it's 2 5/8. Who's going to remember that? 2 5/8, huh? So we'll go 2 7/8. Did I? Whoop. Yep, and then the long way is 4, so we can go 4 1/4. That's too long, though, for our thing. Is it? No, we have a full-size card. Yay. So 4 1/4. Oh, it's perfect. Ha. Gotta love when that happens. Okay, so I think he'll look better if he's grounded a little bit, don't you think? My 8 needs some stability. Hey, good morning, Ann. Good morning, Ella. Oh my gosh, good to see everybody. So here we go. I've got my piece going across, and I know that on the sketch it comes down further, but you know, I don't worry too much. These sketches are just like a jumping off point. Okay, so now I have this sentiment here. Oh, maybe I don't. It's floating around at my table somewhere. Here we go. I'm ape over you. And I need a block, so we'll just go in and grab this guy. I have some scraps right here. I can't even stand it. I'm going to grab a couple of punches because I think these need to be circles. I think we'll go with, let's see if the one will fit. Ha! It might fit, but I stamped too far in. That's why they call it scrap paper. Oh yeah, the one fits. So we'll do this. And then I have choices here. I can do 1 1/8 or 1 3/8. He has a nice big border around him on the card. So I think I'll go with 1 3/8. Is that not the cutest thing ever? I don't know though. Yeah, I suppose. Okay, because this panel is so darn long and I didn't want to trim it and trim off that awesome stitching, I'm going to put some ribbon on it, but I don't like this color anymore. This is the matching All My Love ribbon. Let's open a package of this. Good morning, Lisa. So good to see everybody. This is way more layers than I would normally put on a card. It's kind of funny for me, actually. Well, you know, like more elements. I'm clean and simple girl. I like, you know, clean lines, but I do love a good challenge, and I wanted to make a card for the sketch challenge on my team page. We have a team coordinator that posts them and picks them. And it's good to get outside your own comfort zone sometimes. I think that's still too long. There we go. He is coming together kind of cool, huh? I'd say he could put it on his desk, but he only goes to work 1 day a week on Tuesdays. So he usually works from home most days. Can you see him leaving that on the kitchen table? He might, though. Probably, he might because it has an ape on it. Oh my God, so funny. Okay, so let's go back to that easel thing. So we made the base for the easel, right? And now we want it to stand up like this. So all we have to do is put adhesive here. You don't want to put adhesive above that because then the card front will stick. Just put it on the bottom side and then lay it down. And now this will stand up. So now we need like a stopper. So I'm thinking maybe one more layer. Four by 5 1/4. So this will sit like a card insert underneath. And we could bring in a little strip of this to go across. So I do love this paper cutter, because if you're not feeling like that you want to go all the way that way, you can still hold on to your paper, and then there's a measurement tool this way. So that's a 1/4 inch. Maybe we'll go a 1/2 inch strip across the middle like that. And it should be 4 1/4 because we cut it off the piece that went 4 1/4 here. So now I'll have something to share on my team group and show them that I too made a card with the sketch that has a ton of pieces. I'm excited. But again, it's just a jumping off point, so you don't have to use all the pieces, and you certainly don't have to use their measurements. We changed them. Put adhesive here. And now I need something to help it stand up. So you could use a brad, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick a pearl here. Or a rhinestone, because it was the first thing I grabbed. And I'm going to scooch it off. I love the new sheets because they are a little bit slippery. They slip right off where you want your item, so I no longer need to get under it with the tip of my scissor unless I flip it over like I just did. I'm going to put a diamond there. And that's my easel card. I hope you're seeing this okay. Stand up. I'll put better pictures out later on, but isn't he cute? I wasn't going to buy this set, and I keep cards in a florist up the street, and after seeing other people's creations, I thought, you know, all the cards that I made were kind of foo-foo, lovey-dovey, and honestly, this is more my speed. So I think I'm going to make some ape cards for the florist. So I want to jump in and show you a couple of more things. This is my team meeting for this week. It's Sunday, and my team members have the option to take it in person or to go. I'll ship it right to their door, bows tied and everything. It's also going to be my Singles Awareness Night class. So for the Singles Awareness Night class, it's going to be a Stamp-A-Stack, and you'll make 3 of each of 4 designs. Also available to go, but you're going to need the stamp set if you are taking it to go. So it does limit me a little bit, but everything will be pre-embossed, pre-done for you. 12 cards, pretty awesome. Also, this week, I have my card class that I lost on the table somewhere. I pulled all the samples and I lost them. Huh, bummer. Oh, there they are. So I'll give you a quick sneak peek at these. They're really beautiful, spring, gorgeous cards. Yay. And we're making these on Thursday, and I've already had people get these for free. So they just made a purchase in my store for more than $25 using the host code for the class. If you have any questions at all, just message me here and I will get you that host code. So you can buy just the directions if you're a demonstrator, and you can certainly use my directions if someone gives you a $50 order. I want you to benefit from getting the directions if you get them. So please only give them for free with a $50 order. And for me, if you place a qualifying order in my store, you'll get them automatically and a packet as long as you get them in before Wednesday. Aren't they cute? So that's it for me for today. I would chat with you, but I moved my clip, so I don't know where it is, but I'm ape over you. so darn cute and easy. And that's the blends. And see, it did bleed out a little bit on the sides, but I think it's fine. It looks like his shadow. The apes are his shadow, so we get an early spring. That's it for today. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.